Our first line of defense, so critical, so important in wrestling. And you learn it the first day you go to practice. First wrestling practice you probably ever go to, you're going to learn stance and motion, okay? Now, it seems kind of silly that, you know, high school wrestlers would work on something they worked on when they're 5 years old, but guys, it's fundamental. It goes all the way through, okay? The guys at the Olympic level, they have to be solid fundamentally in order to be successful, okay? Stance and motion. So when we're talking about stance, the goal is, if I'm wrestling and I stand up straight, the higher I stand up, the easier it is for my opponent to get under me and get to my legs. So the first thing I want to do is I want to have a good stance when I'm low, okay? And I'm protecting my legs, okay? From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this, okay? In general, you kind of want to have your back straight and strong. You want to drop your butt low, and you want your arms usually to be in front of your legs to some degree. Some guys like to have their hands out here, okay? Some guys like to leave their arms down here a little bit lower, so they have arms blocking. So if my opponent shoots into me right here, they're going to first get to my arms. They're going to be blocked by my arms, okay? And then by being lower, I'm also closer to the ground. It's harder for my opponent to get under me. And if I do need to sprawl and defend shots, most of my defense is going to be getting the fight to the ground. And so the fact that I'm already down here, kind of low already, makes it a lot easier to get that fight down to the ground when we get to that point, which you'll see in some future videos, okay, that are coming with this series. So stance and motion is the most important thing for defense. It's the first line, okay? So stance is down here, our arms are out here, our head is up, okay, right here. We're always up here like this. Our opponent's gonna be pulling on our head a lot, trying to snap our head down. And if we let our head come down, okay, we're gonna constantly be blind to what he's doing, and we're gonna be out of position. So as I'm in my stance, I have my butt down low, okay, my chest is over my knees, my arms are down here, okay, or my hands are down here, ready to block, ready to get hand control, okay, and then my head is up, and I always keep this up. Okay, had some coaches when I was younger teach me that you gotta imagine it's like holding a pencil behind your neck, and you want to hold it right there so it can't fall out. Okay, and then as your opponent goes and pulls your head, so if we're in our stance and he pulls my head, instead of letting my head go down and being weak in the neck, I actually can kind of work into this guy because my head's always up, ready to attack in a good position. So that's the first thing, okay, is stance and your position, all right? Second thing is motion, okay? With motion, I need to make sure that I'm moving, all right? If I'm just standing still like this, I'm a sitting target, right? And my opponent can easily predict that I'm not gonna probably do a whole lot if he shoots on me. The fact that I have motion and I'm moving makes it easier to respond, to react. If my feet are moving, it's a little, I can usually react a little quicker. And not only that, but if I move in the right direction, it's going to make my opponent's shots have to usually move to where I'm actually moving instead of just being predictable, okay? So if I'm standing here, but I'm constantly moving here, well, the shot's constantly moving out of the way, and he's having to constantly adjust and kind of reset up his shot. So I want to have stance, I want to have motion. Those are my first two lines of defense. If I do those well, my opponent's going to have to take shots that are at a little bit of a disadvantage to him. And I'm going to be in a better position and be quicker to respond to what's coming. So great way to just practice this is just as a warm-up even in practice. Is just, we call it shadow wrestling, where you get into a stance here and you move. You just kind of move, okay? You just move. You just circle. And you'll notice when I circle, okay, I don't cross my feet. I don't want to cross my feet when I circle. If I cross my feet, it's pretty easy for a guy to pick my legs and pick ankles and stuff like that. So I don't want to cross my feet. I'm either moving here like kind of a little shuffle, okay? In general, I kind of like to move toward my trail leg side, okay? But that doesn't mean I can't come back here and have a little fake in toward my lead leg side. Main thing is don't cross your feet and just keep your feet constantly moving, okay? Low and constantly moving. All right, have your hands out here, have your arm out here, however, whatever you like is important, but make sure you're staying low and constantly moving. Another thing that's really important is if your legs are square, if your knees are square like this, okay, you're going to typically be what we call a square stance, okay? You're moving, you're kind of equal. But But a lot of times when we attack, we like to bring out a lead leg, okay? A lead leg. And this lead leg is great for me getting into a shot because I can get in a little closer, but it also can make me a little vulnerable if I'm not careful. So I have to protect my lead leg. So in general, I don't like reaching with my arm that's on the same side as my lead leg. So if I'm gonna reach for a wrist or come in and post my opponent, I'm usually gonna do it with my trail leg hand. So my leg that's back, I'm a little safer there. So I can leave this arm here that's in front of this lead leg to block that lead leg, okay? So I'm here, okay, protecting this lead leg, all right? So here's your drill, shadow wrestle, and just practice that motion. You need to get to the point where you can stay in that stance and move your entire match. You can't do it for 1 minute and then get exhausted after a minute, and then the rest of the match, be constantly coming up out of your stance and wrestling up here. We've got to be able to stay down here for the whole match, okay? So go a minute at a time, okay? Maybe start with just 1 minute, shadow wrestle, just stance in motion, circle, circle, circle. Stay alert, stay aware, stay ready. You can kind of relax a little, you don't have to be super intense and aggressive, but you want to be moving, okay? Moving here, moving here, moving here, moving here, moving here, okay? Always ready and always moving. So that's stance in motion. Make sure you have a great stance in motion.